Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of economics, but with a twist. We are talking about neuroeconomic theory. We'll be exploring how understanding the brain can revolutionize the way we look at economic decision-making. Traditional economics, as we know it, relies mostly on revealed preferences to understand what people want and predict their actions. Revealed preferences suggest a person's true preferences can be inferred by observing their actual choices and behaviors. If Betty consistently chooses donuts when an apple is available, it indicates a preference for donuts. However, continued observation might reveal instances where she opts for the apple, introducing uncertainty and explaining her choices. Neuroeconomic theory delves deeper by directly observing the underlying mechanisms influencing our decisions. Betty's varying choices could result from changing factors like metabolic needs or levels of attentiveness, causing her brain to compute the value of options differently in different contexts. Neuroeconomic theory constructs models to understand how these mechanisms guide choices. There are three major advantages to approaching economic decision-making from a neuroeconomic theory angle. Let's break them down. First up, disciplining bounded rationality arguments. Now, we all know that humans aren't always the perfectly rational decision-makers that traditional economics assumes. Bounded rationality, the idea that our cognitive limitations shape our choices, can be modeled in countless ways. But neuroeconomic theory steps in to offer us clear guidelines about the constraints that are essential for decision-making processes. By examining the brain's response within a particular context, we can pinpoint the underlying mechanisms driving behavior in that circumstance and dismiss alternative explanations. By discerning the precise mechanisms influencing specific choices across various situations, we can enhance the accuracy of our predictions regarding human behavior in a broad spectrum of scenarios. Now, let's move on to the second advantage, micro-founding preferences. Traditional economics takes preferences as given, but neuroeconomic theory takes a different approach. It explicitly models the strategic interaction between distinct brain systems, making it feasible to establish micro-foundations for preferences. See these different brain systems? They're like players in a game, each influencing our preferences in unique ways. Here is how it works for Betty's problem. She must choose between the apple and the donut. Visual information undergoes processing in her visual cortex, located at the posterior part of her brain. This information is subsequently transmitted to other brain systems responsible for assessing the relative tastiness of items. However, the visual input may also be directed towards a system that analyzes consequences more cognitively, considering factors such as Betty's dietary restrictions and long-term effects. This system then provides feedback to refine the actual value of each food option. If this occurs, Betty is inclined to make a healthy choice and opt for the apple. Nevertheless, there are occasions when this system remains uninvolved in the decision-making process, leading Betty to reach for the donut instead. This could be due to distractions or limitations in processing resources, preventing her from fully evaluating the comparative value of the available food choices. Directly observing brain processes provides valuable insights into the underlying reasons behind the distinct mechanisms governing decisions to choose between an apple and a donut, as well as cases involving the exercise of self-control versus those where it is absent. It also underscores the dynamic nature of preferences. Each time we make a choice, we compute the values associated with our options, but the way we resolve these trade-offs can vary because different brain systems may engage differently depending on the situation, whether we are fully focused or distracted. By understanding the intricacies of these system interactions, we can elucidate how changes in these processes contribute to shifts in our attitudes and preferences. Now, let's move on to the third advantage of neuroeconomic theory, providing testable implications. Neuroeconomic theory doesn't stop at understanding brain mechanisms. It goes further by building models that can explain and predict behaviors based on evidence from brain activity. Think of it like this. By examining how our brain encodes and handles information in the context of basic experimental tasks, like choosing between two food items, we can formulate hypotheses that are amenable to empirical testing regarding human behavior in diverse economic situations. This enables us to validate our theories in real-world scenarios. Our brains influence economic choices in simple situations, such as deciding between an apple and a donut, as well as in more intricate scenarios, like navigating supermarket aisles while shopping. The brain plays a crucial role in facilitating the trade-offs we encounter, whether it's between consumption and savings, or when we contemplate engaging in exercise. In these cases, distinct neural systems assess various aspects of the decisions, including short-term and long-term consequences, and integrate this information to arrive at a response, whether it involves making a purchase, saving, or choosing to exercise. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into neuroeconomic theory. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow economics enthusiasts. Thanks for watching.